Okay, the Trump administration is considering a plan to reverse the decline in the birth rate. And before we get to the plan, we should establish that, yes, birth rates are declining at a record pace. It is a major crisis. Speaking of Elon Musk, he's been talking about this, of course, for a long time. He issued a dire warning during an interview recently. I think this was on Fox News a couple of weeks ago. But listen to this.
The birth rate is very low in almost every country. And it's something, unless that changes, civilization will disappear. America had the lowest birth rate, I believe, ever. That was last year. Places like Korea, the birth rate is 1/3 replacement rate. So that means in 3 generations, Korea will be 3 or 4% of its current size. And nothing seems to be turning that around. Humanity is dying. And people, it's just not something we evolved to react to. And I worry generally about the strength of America. You know, America is the central column that holds up all of Western civilization. So if we've got the temple of Western civilization, America is the central column. If that column fails, it's all over. You can't run off to New Zealand or some other place. It's over. So either we strengthen that column and make sure America is strong and will be strong for a long time, or that roof's coming down.
Well, he's exactly right. It may sound dramatic or overblown to say that humanity is dying, but it is. It actually is. I mean, the birth rate hit a record low in 2023 in the U.S. The birth rate was 55 births per 1,000 women ages 15 to 44, which is how they count the birth rate, which is the lowest in history. And just to give you an idea, because these numbers can sound kind of meaningless if you have nothing to compare it to. It's kind of hard. That's and maybe one of the reasons why people are whistling past the graveyard on this thing is like it's hard to conceptualize what is a high birth rate, what's a low birth rate. So for comparison, the most recent birth rate we have data for in 2023 was 55 births per 1,000 women. In 1950, for example, it was 106 births per 1,000 women. Okay. In 1850, we don't have exact data for this, but this is estimated. It's estimated that the general birth rate was upwards of 300 births per 1,000 women. So follow the trends here. The birth rate was cut to 1/3 from 1850 to 1950, and then halved again from 1950 to now. The birth rate is so low now that our general birth rate today is about equal to what they call the crude birth rate in 1850. The crude birth rate is the number of births per 1,000 people, not just 1,000 women of childbearing age, but per 1,000 people. So in 1850, the number of births per 1,000 people was about 45, and now it's 55 per 1,000 women. Okay, so this is a catastrophic decline in a relatively short amount of time. In fact, the only group of women that have seen stable or even increasing birth rates is the over 40 bracket. So women over 40 are having more babies. Everyone else is having fewer, a lot fewer. So the age group where there's an increased risk of pregnancy complications, increased risk of stillbirth, of miscarriage, of preeclampsia, of all kinds of problems with the baby. Your chance of having a baby with Down syndrome is about 1 in 1,200 if you have a baby at 25. At 40, it's 1 in 100. Okay, so we're talking about drastically higher risks, pretty much across the board for the mother and the baby. And yet that is the one age group that we've decided should definitely still be having a lot of babies. I mean, previous generations. So the way it would work in previous generations is that women would sort of stop having babies around 40, or at least they'd be on kind of the tail end of their. This is when once you get to 40 into your 40s, you have not only have you had a bunch of kids already, but your kids are, you've got kids that are getting ready to move out of the house, or already have. So previous generations stop having babies around 40. Now that's when we start. And that's just insane. It is an insane way of trying to maintain a civilization. It doesn't work this way. You can't do it this way at scale. Okay, so now there's always going to be exceptions. You could always, I know someone they had a baby when they were 42. Okay, but at scale, at a civilizational level, you cannot do it this way. It does not work. So, in other words, this is a crisis. It's a major problem. If the survival of our species is important to you, then you should care about this. I mean, it matters a lot. So here's Trump's idea to help reverse the trend. New York Post reports, President Trump endorsed giving new mothers a financial award on Tuesday after a report surfaced that the White House was considering handing out up to $5,000 per delivery to reverse the decline in U.S. birth rates. Sounds like a good idea to me, Trump told the Post in the Oval Office when asked about the reported cash incentive to get more Americans to have kids. The administration's deliberations over the so-called baby bonus were first reported Monday by the New York Times. One plan would give a $5,000 incentive to new moms, while another would see that 30% of all Fulbright scholarships be given to applicants who are married or have children. Okay. Now, I think this is a great idea. I mean, I'm very much in favor of almost any plan to incentivize people to have kids and start families. The only stipulation I would make, and that these plans should make, is that whatever the reward is, you only get it if you're married. Okay, we don't want to incentivize single motherhood. It's not as simple as we need people to have more kids. Yes, we need people to have more kids, but in a certain context. If the goal is to maintain, support, and protect human civilization, then yeah, I mean, step one, you need more people. You need the people who are here to create more people. That's how it works. But then as part of that, it's not even like step two. As part of step one, the new people who are born need to be born into a certain context, and that context needs to be the family, a stable nuclear family. So we don't want to incentivize single motherhood. We don't want to give, a woman who already has 3 baby daddies an incentive to go out and find 3 more. So it should be $5,000 per delivery if you are married, only if you're married. Make it $10,000, and if we are whittling down the pool a bit like that, then make it $10,000 per delivery. Make it $20,000, okay? And make it retroactive so that I can collect my $60,000 if we're doing $10,000 per delivery. So there's a lot that can be done here. How about this? Here's a plan I like: no income tax for married couples with kids under 18. Now, as you know, I'd like to see the income tax abolished entirely across the board for everyone. But if that isn't going to happen, which it almost certainly isn't, then why not this? Abolish the income tax for all families that feature married parents with kids under 18. That would be the ultimate incentive. I mean, now you want to talk about an incentive. If you don't have kids, so if you have kids under 18 and you're married, there's zero income tax, zero federal income tax. If you don't have kids and you're married, you still have to pay. If you have kids but you're unmarried or divorced, sorry, you still have to pay. And people will say that that's unfair, it's preferential treatment, and they're right. It is preferential. It should be. We need to start giving preferential treatment to married couples who have children. We should give them preferential treatment because we should prefer them. We should prefer them. We don't prefer couples that decide not to have kids. You're willingly contributing to the extinction of our species. If anything, you should be taxed more. I mean, raise the income tax to 80% for couples who choose not to have kids. I mean, you have to verify somehow that it's a choice and not a medical issue, so that'd be a little bit difficult. But either way, they shouldn't get this reward. And if you're divorced or never married and you have kids, again, we don't prefer that. That's like, you don't get the preferential treatment because as a society, that's not the arrangement that we prefer. And even if you're divorced or unmarried with kids, you should agree with this. You should say, yeah, it's unfortunate I'm in this spot, but yeah, of course we don't prefer this. This is not what we should prefer as a society. We should prefer that people are not in the spot that I'm in. That's what you should be saying. Because as a society, that kind of arrangement does not benefit us. It actually harms us. So society benefits from married couples having kids. It does not benefit from really any other arrangement. And we need to start just lavishing rewards and benefits on the people who are doing the thing that sustains civilization and ensures that it thrives. Just shower them with privileges that nobody else gets. And I know it's, I'm a bit biased because I'm part of this group that would be getting all these privileges, but I'm not saying it just for that reason. I'm saying it because we, as the married couples that have kids, we are the future of the species. We are the future. We are carrying the entire weight of civilization on our backs. It's completely down to us. And so, yeah, it's anything that can be done to make it easier on that group should be done. And I think this plan from Trump is just the beginning, but there's certainly a lot more that could be done. If you'd like to see what else I have to say, you can access my full show by going to dailywire.com or by going to the Matt Walsh Show Twitter page. Hope to see you there. Godspeed.